Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode on SAP UI5 and Fiori training. In the last session in UI5, we discussed about Google Map integration and give a close to our SAP Fiori chapter. From today's class onwards, we will talk about OData services in SAP UI5. Before we move on, let's try and understand what is the OData service or what is a REST-based service. So let's start and discuss what is a REST protocol or what is a REST service. You have observed that over a period of time, this new world is all about internet. It's all about cloud. This new world is also all about mobile. Mobile is your new front end. People are no more using their computers and laptops anymore. They are doing majority of their activities with the help of mobiles and tablets and smartwatches. This is what this new world is all about. With penetration of the cloud world so fast into the market, over a period of time, the need for designing the application has also changed. Couple of requirements which we all need to take care when we are building a software into the cloud, when we are building a software on the internet, is we need to make sure that you have billions of users connecting to your application. This is one basic user requirement which we have. You will see typically when you have an application on internet, billions of users across the world will connect to your application. So certain things which you used to do in typical business applications in the past will now no more work. Why they will not no more work? There is a reason. Can anybody tell me, those who are from ABAP background, how many sessions, external ABAP sessions you can open with one user ID? How many maximum ABAP sessions you can open with one user ID? It is 6 plus 1, one which you have connected currently and 6 sessions other than that. So total 7 sessions is the answer you can connect. Why? A normal or typical application always holds the information about user session on server side, right? Anytime you connect to a ABAP layer, you connect to your SAP system, it creates a session, and this session information is stored in the server side. So you remember the client server architecture. You have a client, you have a server. In SAP also we have 3 layers: presentation, application, and database. So whenever a user connecting from presentation layer, the application layer is storing some session information of this user on the server side. It's holding this information, right? It's holding this information. Where can you check that information? If I quickly take you to our ABAP system to show this information, where can we check it? So I'm just connecting to the ABAP system. You can check this information in any SAP system in transaction code SM04. SM means system maintenance. SM04. So let's go to SM04. And now you can see here the session information. You can see this user MOB14 is connected with this ABAP system with 4 different sessions. MOB31 is connected to ABAP system with these many sessions. This user is connected with these many sessions. So likewise, you can see each user is connected with how many sessions to the ABAP layer. Correct? Are you all clear? So in a normal application, it stores the session information on application layer side. Now, do you think it's possible to have billions of sessions when your application going on cloud? Is it possible to have billions of sessions stored on the server? Is it possible? Imagine the kind of scale you would need for this server to be able to have this, right? Can you afford this kind of infrastructure where you have billions of sessions, right? You cannot, correct? You cannot. So what do? We need to move, we need to have a protocol, we need to have a way by which there is no session persisted on the backend. Okay, and still we should be able to communicate securely between front end and back end using HTTP protocol. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transmission Protocol. This is nothing but the protocol, the standard, the way, or the game of rule of the games, which defines certain rules of a web application, how it should communicate to the server. That's what HTTP is. So we need certain protocols also for the communication to the server without storing any session information on the server side. That is what we need, guys. How can we achieve that? That can be achieved with the help of something called REST protocol. REST stands for representational state transfer. It means the state which you are persisting on the server side, you should transfer that state to the presentation layer. You should not have any session information. You will not hold permanently any session information of who are all the users connected to your website or connected to your application. You got to transfer this state to the client side. Let the client store the state. Okay, you should not store the state of the user on your side, because if you do that, billions of states you have to store, which would need a large system and the cost will become very high. That is why this protocol is also known as stateless. Do you understand what is stateless means? There is no state is stored on the application server. Are you getting the point? There is no user state, there is no user session hold on the application layer side. It is representational state transfer to the presentation layer. No state is stored on the application layer side. Is that clear, everybody, why it is called stateless? So it is one of the way. So REST is one of the standard to be able to communicate from internet these days without storing the user's session information. Okay, that's what it is. Just understand the scale of the application you're building on internet in the cloud. By catering to this scale, this is what we need, guys. Clear, everybody, we need rest. Now if you look at today's world, Uber, Ola, Amazon, Flipkart, all these companies, Google, they all are building APIs which are stateless APIs. More than world's 85% APIs are REST based APIs. Remaining are like web services or other stuff. In the web service, however, there is a state which is stored on the server side. That's how the REST is different from web service. Okay, we'll not talk about web service in this course. We'll talk about REST API. So one of the REST API type, one of the more advanced type of REST API is also called an OData API. Okay, one of the advanced type of REST, it's actually REST. In OData also there is no state which is stored on the server side. We never store a state on server side actually. Nobody will know who is currently connected to the system. You will not know. Okay, in OData API also you don't persist a state. It's a REST based API. Clear, everybody? So you are just exposing your resources via HTTP from your server to the client. You have to build an OData service. So SAP UI5 Fiori applications, whenever you see, they can talk to REST API also and they can talk to OData API also. The best way which we use is OData API. We always use OData when it comes to SAP UI5. So what is OData? Let's talk about OData. OData stands for Open Data Protocol. It is a REST based protocol. Again, it's a rule of the game, more advanced rule of the game. So in the REST API or a REST based service, you have some rules of the game. When it comes to OData, you add some more rules on top of it. Okay, you add some more rules on top of it. So OData is a REST based protocol. It allows us to design an application, an API, to expose the data over internet. It allows us to expose the data over internet via HTTP protocol and REST based. So what it has got a flavor of HTTP and what flavor it has got from REST. We'll discuss that now quickly. So when it comes to HTTP protocol, an HTTP protocol, whenever it comes to HTTP, hypertext transmission protocol, HTTP protocol says that whenever you are communicating your method of communication, you have to have a method of communication. There are a couple of rules which HTTP brings in actually. So let me tell you those rules. So what are all the rules which has come from HTTP? The first rule of the game, the communication which you are doing via HTTP will have a request and response. This is the architecture it works with, request response architecture. The second thing, every request and response have a header plus a body. Clear everybody? So you're sending a request to server. So in the request, the body is optional until unless it's a post type of request. Header is must. Every request has a header and response has a header and a body. The third important thing, there are fixed type of methods, HTTP methods to communicate and inform the server about the purpose. Okay, about the purpose. What are all these methods? Let's quickly talk about the most important ones. You all have seen them in the last class, in the past class also. So what is a method and what is a purpose? First comes is get method. Get method is to read the data. Second comes is post method to create the data. Then comes is put method to update the data. Comes is delete method to remove the data from the server. That is what exactly we do, guys. Get, put, post and delete. Yes, you have merge, you have patch. Yes, you have lock, you have unlock. Many other methods are there, guys. I am just talking about these ones, keeping it simple for you. Okay. So these are all the different methods we do have when it comes to REST or HTTP protocol. These are all the rules of the game from HTTP. Are you clear with these rules of the game? HTTP protocol rules which comes and applies to any HTTP communication. It's a simple words, it's a communication between client and server, your browser and your server. So that is what we typically have it. Now, there are two types of format which you can now use when it comes to communication. The formats which are more popular are XML and JSON format. The JSON format especially is now possible with REST based API. Any REST based API have a JSON format also possible. If you heard about web services, they're also HTTP type of communication, but they doesn't work with JSON format. They only work with XML format. But REST API works also with the JSON format. So OData is actually a REST API. What are the benefits of OData, guys? Let's talk about the benefits of OData service. Why we using OData service here in the UI5 in Fury? What are the benefits of it? Of OData. So those who are unable to understand this theory, just park your questions for a minute. Definitely you will get a full idea. Don't worry. I'm not leaving you anywhere. We will do in the system, that time you'll understand more with examples. Okay. So right now just look at the theory part, very important from interview point of view. Now it is easy to learn. It's very easy, very easy to learn. It is an open standard. No licensing fee is required to pay to utilize the concepts of OData. Okay. It's an open standard. Do you know the company name who has made this standard open? Anyone? Any guess? OData standard is in industry. Every company is these days using. Yes, it's a Microsoft standard. Correct. So earlier there was a company called Oasis, not the mobile Oasis company in India. It was a big IT company, Oasis, which was later acquired by Microsoft. So this is what an open standard it has become. In industry, it's an open standard, and every company started using it, and that's why it has become industry standard as well. And it's open source. This protocol is open source. There are lots of frameworks available in the market of technology to implement the OData service. You can use these reusable frameworks, and you can use any programming languages. So there are many standard frameworks available in market. Every programming language to be able to create OData services. Like in ABAP, we have Service Gateway Builder. In Java, we have Olingo. In Node.js, we have NOData server. So every programming language has some or the other thing to expose OData service, guys. Yes, every programming language has. That's why it's easy to implement OData service. So अब तक बैटिंग कर रहे थे आप लोग. Till today you all were doing batting. I will teach you bowling today. I will teach you from today's class the bowling. Do you remember? I flipped the table now. I flipped the table already. You don't even realize. Which side of the coding you were doing till now? Which side of the coding you were doing till now? This part we were building. We were building this side. This side we were building. Now what do you think? Which side we jumped into? What do you think? Which side we are jumped into? Now what do you think? Which side are we going to build? Yes, we're gonna build this side now. I already flipped the table. किस किस को realize हुआ मुझे पता नहीं चला. Many people did not realize that we flipped the table. We are talking about this side now. Server side. We're talking about how to build, how to expose your ECC data. If you have data in your Mara table, data in VBAC table, LFA1 table, how can you expose this data to outside? How can this data be available to Fiori app? How can this be given to a Fiori app? That's what we are talking about. I hope you're getting a feel of where we are going. We are talking pure about server side now. Okay, we're talking about server side. Okay, next important thing, you don't need to worry about underlying database queries. Yes, so as a consumer of OData, we don't need to care underlying complexity and database queries, because OData layer abstracts it. You don't have to worry about it. What is the technology used behind the scene? Today I am using ABAP to build an OData service. Tomorrow I can change it to a Node.js based application. I don't need to change my Fiori app accordingly. Yes guys, it's true. If you build a Fiori app using an OData service using ABAP language, tomorrow you change complete backend. Remove the ABAP, bring the Node.js. Your Fiori app will not change at all because OData is a protocol. Fiori app do not talk to ABAP directly, talks to OData. And OData then talking to it. So you can see it providing an abstraction layer here. This is the layer which is abstracting, decoupling you from the server. You don't need to worry about which technology you used, which database you used. You just need to worry about your OData protocol. What is your OData giving you? If this protocol is kept intact, if the metadata, if the OData signature, OData contract is intact, doesn't matter which technology is used to build OData, doesn't matter which database was used behind the scene to build this OData service, doesn't matter, because your Fiori app is talking to OData. Fiori app doesn't talk to function module. ये फंडा फॉक्स मत भूल जाना. What is a funda fox? Many of you will be confused and are running living in a myth that Fiori app can talk to function module. Funda fox. Can a Fiori app talk to function module? Can a Fiori app talk to workflow? Can a Fiori app talk to CDS view? Is it possible that a Fiori app can talk to CDS view? Is it possible that a Fiori app can talk to function module? No. Impossible, guys. Impossible. Fiori app cannot talk to CDS, cannot talk to function module, cannot talk to database table, cannot talk to ABAP program. Fiori app only talks to OData. Only and only talks to OData, guys. It only talks to OData. It doesn't talk to anybody else. And the OData then talks to your function module, your CDS, your programs, your module pools, your subroutines, your constructs, your substructs, whatever you want behind the scenes, you can have it. Fiori app only talks to OData. ये भूल मत जाना, गड़बड़ हो जाएगा, सारा गेम चेंज हो जाएगा. Clear everybody? This is a myth. People come and tell me, Anubhav, I am having a function module. My Fiori app taking data from function module. Incorrect answer. It cannot talk to function module. It only talks to OData service. And then OData implementation talks to your function module. It talks to CDS view. It talks to blah blah stuff. Whatsoever you want, it talks to that, guys. Next important thing. You will just have to follow the OData protocol and rest will take care of it. Okay. OData hides the complete complexity. We already saw that it hides the complete complexity. What your Fiori app should know is OData. You don't need to worry whether I built this OData via Node.js or ABAP. Doesn't matter, or Java. Any programming language or Python or any programming language you can say, you don't have to worry about it. Clear everybody? Is that clear everybody? It doesn't matter. OData abstracts your layer. It It doesn't matter which technology you're using behind the scene, which database are you using behind the scene, that also it doesn't matter completely. Okay, which database are you using here on the sides. So it doesn't matter which DB, which cylinder you have. It doesn't matter, guys. Clear, everybody? Doesn't matter which cylinder, which database are you using. Doesn't matter. Okay, so it hides the complete complexity behind the scenes about the server and the data. Fiori app only talks to OData service. Now, where can you experience OData service? How can you build the OData service? And what are all the different options for you to build it on the server? Okay. No, Pratibha, others are not having this issue. So before we get into it, let's try and understand how our architecture has evolved, how our system architecture has evolved. Typically, we have our three-tier architecture: presentation, application, and database. Okay, this is the three-tier architecture we have typically. Now, what is happening here? SAP have announced that their new presentation is going to be Fiori. So what is happening is now the presentation SAP based apps, dialog programming apps are getting converted to a Fiori based application. So in this presentation layer, earlier you used to have SAP, and now instead of SAP we have Fiori applications which are getting created. Now to cater to the need of this Fiori application, it is very important to have new architecture. So browser will talk to the Fiori app, right? Your end user will consume the Fiori app via browser, and it talks to the Fiori app. And this Fiori app now has to talk to ABAP system. It has to talk to ABAP system, guys. Now, when SAP launched SAP Fiori, they say, okay, you can use OData to communicate to the backend server. Now, do you think your company, any company who is like big company like Walmart, they will immediately replace this application server and say, okay, you are bringing Fiori, so we will dump the current server and we will allow you to build a new thing to be able to support Fiori apps. Do you think a company would dump their existing application server and say, okay, now for Fiori we will dump it and we'll use completely new technology, completely new server? No company would do that, right? So you should have innovation without disruption. So what SAP proposed? They proposed another type of server as part of your application layer. So still it is application layer, but there are two different computers and each computer has a different installation. Okay, so this is still your application layer. Inside your application layer, you have actually two different computers, and these two different computers inside will have actually installation of different components. So your current SAP backend system kept as it is. It is kept as it is. This is the server where you have your current application. Like your function modules, your workflows, your BOPF, whatsoever, your programs, everything what you had earlier was here. And SAP said, please install another component on a different computer. This is called gateway, or also known as Fiori front end server. Innovation without disruption. So you keep your current server as it is, just install an extra server together with it. And this server now supports OData services and store Fiori apps also for you. That's the main purpose of this server. It is able to create OData service. And now guys, to connect to SAP system, what do we use? How will this gateway server talk to this current backend server where all your applications are present? Yes, perfect answer. In SAP, we have a concept of RFC, remote function call. So I can connect to SAP server with RFC. So now we will put here RFC connection. They are talking via RFC. This is what we used. They are talking via RFC connection. Clear everyone? Innovation without disruption. And now you can expose OData service. You can store also your Fiori apps here in SAP server. And then it can be utilized by browser. Browser can load this Fiori app from your SAP server and it can display the application. Okay. And then your database remains as it is. However, the database area also, there's a big evolution which has happened. Typical Max database or Oracle database is now getting replaced with anyone. Which database now are we using with SAP? We are using SAP HANA, and that has become ABAP on HANA, which is another course altogether. Is that clear, everybody? How the evolution of SAP NetWeaver layer has happened. It is now supporting something called gateway server, which is allows you to create OData services and also store Fiori applications and connecting using. So this whole layer is still application. See the outer box, gray color box. This whole layer is still the application layer. Now there are two types of deployment scenarios. One scenario where your NetWeaver, your gateway layer is installed separately in a different computer, and then you can connect to your ERP system. Okay, then you can connect to your ERP system. This is your current ECC. You can connect to it. This is one typical use case where it is installed in a completely different computer. And by the way, the component which is installed named as GW underscore FND, Gateway Foundation. This is the component which you should also check in your server to check whether what is the state, whether you can build OData service or not. So this is what I'm telling you guys. You can go and check in your company server. Just go to your ABAP system in your company server. Just open that up. And now just go and check that. So go to your ABAP server. Go to options for system, status, and then you will be able to find that component. So now system status opens up. Just click on this button called component. And now watch out, watch out. Can you see SAP GWFND? This is the component which is required to be able to create OData services with SAP system. If you guys have this component in your company, in your server, you can go ahead and create OData services in your company server. Clear, everybody? This was released from SAP NetWeaver 7.4 onwards. So typically if you are on 7.4, obviously this will be there. The second one to support UI5 is SAP UI component. User interface technology 7.4, you see. So this was also released to store the Fiori apps to support development of UI5, having SAP UI5 framework inbuilt inside SAP system. Yeah, these two are main components for creating service and creating UIs, creating Fiori apps and storing them in SAP server. So if you have these two components in your company, your server is ready to support you for development. Okay. If you want to learn more deep about these components, installation of these components, please join my Fiori Advanced course where I showed how to use SAP Fiori Maintenance Planner to install and set up these components in your SAP server. That's a basis work, but The moment you say in company, I know Fiori, they think you know everything. They think आप बेसिस का काम भी कर लोगे, आप सिक्योरिटी भी देख लोगे, आप ओडेटा भी बनाओगे, आप डेवलपमेंट भी कर लोगे, आप यूएक्स डिजाइन भी करोगे, आप लॉन्च पैड भी बनाओगे, या आप यूजर्स को ऑथराइजेशंस भी दोगे, आप एस4 हाना रिलेटेड काम भी करोगे, एनालिटिकल ऐप भी बनाओगे, फैक्ट शीट भी बनाओगे, केपीआई भी बनाओगे. दिस इज व्हाट दे एक्सपेक्ट यू. आप मोबाइल ऐप भी बनाओगे, आप मोबाइल कैपेबिलिटी भी बनाओगे, आप एपीके भी बनाओगे, आप मोबाइल में डिप्लॉयमेंट भी करोगे, आप एसएपी क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म में भी बनाओगे, हाइब्रिड एप्लीकेशन टूल किट भी यूज कर सकते हो, ऑफलाइन एक्सेस भी दोगे, पुश नोटिफिकेशन भी दोगे, कैमरा इंटीग्रेशन भी करोगे, आप ये सब कुछ करोगे. और ये सब मैं सिखाता हूँ. दिस इज ऑल आई एम टीचिंग इन माई कोर्सेस, everything end to end except the HT part. Right now I'm teaching all these things slowly in each of my courses. If you cover all three courses, ABAP on HANA S4 HANA, SAP Fiori Security with Launchpad and Advanced Fiori, and this one, what the current one which you're going through, you become an architect. You become an architect, Fiori architect you will become. So these two components you would need in your server. Now, either you install these two in a different computer or you keep it in same computer. That based on that, your deployment will work. So there are two scenarios. Scenario number one, where it is installed in a separate computer. This is the component, SAP GWFND. This is the component you got to install along with SAP UI technology component. These two components, if you have, you're ready with the system. In this now you can build data, you can store Fiori apps. This is called Fiori front-end system, by the way. Or Fiori gateway, SAP gateway. Clear everybody? These are just different names which people use. And the current ECC is called Fiori backend. Is that clear everybody? And how these systems are connecting with each other? What is that we use to connect these two systems with each other? Yes, communicate तो करना पड़ेगा ना. कैसे communicate करेंगे दोनों computers? How will these two SAP systems talk to each other? They will talk via RFC, which is created in T code SM59. यहाँ पे नहीं बताऊंगा वो मैं. This is covered in my advanced course. Just understand they talk via RFC. Now, if you have this setup in your company, do you know what is this setup known? Anybody? What is this type of setup known? It's called central hub scenario. This is what is called central hub deployment. Okay, where you have different computer where this component is installed. Okay, is that clear? What is the advantage of central hub scenario? Anybody? What is the advantage?
I mean, it
Can connect to multiple backends, keeping one service. Okay, you can connect to multiple backends. Suppose in your company you have a CRM system separately, a separate CRM system. Okay, and you want to talk to this CRM system, you can also have that. And this concept is called system alias concept. By the help of that, at runtime you can also fetch the data from another system. Your central hub system remains on the top, and you can connect from the central system via RFC to different systems. That's the advantage of central hub scenario. You can connect to multiple backend systems by keeping one service intact. If you want to see an example how this propagation happens, you can watch my YouTube video. I'll give you the link. You can just go and check that up. So let me give you the YouTube link for that. It's called central hub scenario. Okay, so it's called multi-origin policy. So central hub multi-origin. Just check out this video. I've recorded this video long back. You can just check this out. Okay, SAP Gateway OData multi-origin functionality OData. Yeah, this is the one you can go and check. Please watch out this video. In this video, I have explained how to use SAP multi-origin feature in central hub scenario from SAP Web IDE to connect to different backend at runtime. Okay, based on a role. Just watch out this video, very interesting. I'll give you the link over here. What is the disadvantage? Anybody? The cost of the system increases. Okay, you have distributed resources, hence confusion. This is the biggest problem guys. हम इसको ध्यान नहीं देते हैं लेकिन confusion बहुत होता है. Many times student comes to me and say अनुभव अनुभव मैं क्या करूं, मेरी मदद करो, मैं बहुत परेशान हूं. अनुभव कहाँ डिप्लॉय करना है, where shall I keep my Fury app, where do I activate my OData service, where do I write code for OData service. बहुत confusion create होता है, बहुत confusion create होता है. This is the biggest problem with this. If you are new to this technology, it creates confusion. अगर समझ में आ गया तो एक बार आ गया तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. There's no problem, there's no confusion. How do I connect to my OData service, which system shall I create destination for in web id? Many confusion comes. So now let me ask a couple of questions. Let's see how many of you can answer. What do you think, where do you write your abap code to select the data from database? Which system are you going to write the code? Yes, perfect answer. In the back end are you going to write the code? Which system are you going to create the OData implementation? I am asking OData implementation. OData implementation. You will do it in the back end only, because all your programs, all your function modules, everything remains in back end. So OData implementation, I am talking about implementation, is in the back end. Where is the definition of OData? However, it is there. Or where is the registration of OData? OData service registration is done on the front end system. Okay. OData service registration is done on the front end system, and OData service definition and implementation remains in the back end system. Okay, guys, this is how it should be. Where do you deploy your Fury app? Where do you deploy your Fury app? Where do you deploy? Yes, your Fury app resides in the front end system. It is stored in the front end system. All the Fury apps. Okay. How? Okay, which system you will connect, then destination to connect to web id? Your web id for your development, it connects to which system? Anybody? Web id connects to which system for development? Only to the front end system, guys. You should connect web id to the front end system for your development. Clear everybody all these answers? कहाँ implement करना है code, कहाँ registration करना है, where you have to work with Fury apps, where is the web id is connecting to which system. Are these things clear to everybody? The front end and the back end part. If clear, let's move on to the second type of scenario, which is lead to less confusion, less cost. So to solve this problem, of first we won't move on to the second one, and this one is called embedded scenario. In embedded system, both of these are part of a single machine, single computer. So both the things exist at same place, which means SAP GWFND, SAP UI, along with your ECC or whatever suite on HANA or your S4 HANA, the functionality plus technicality. It's a blend of techno-functional system. Functionality and technicality दोनों एक ही सिस्टम में होंगे. Only one single computer you will have both the things installed. It's called embedded deployment. Confusion खत्म हो गया. अब दो सिस्टम नहीं है, एक ही सिस्टम है, सब कुछ इधर ही करना है. ओके, सारा बसड़ इधर ही मचाना है अभी. ओके, इन सिंपल टर्म्स, all the problems, all the dumps, everything you got to do here. So what is the disadvantage? Disadvantage is it's very tight coupling with the functionality. You cannot have a remote connection to different system. In this case you can actually do it, it's possible via RFC, you still can connect to CRM, but default functionality remains within the system. And confusion is also gone. The cost is also minimized because you have to spend hardware only for one machine hardware, because that machine itself has both installations inside, so cost also come down. If you ask me, SAP suggests embedded deployment these days. They are not suggesting central hub deployment. It was more suggested in older days when you have to do probably, innovation without disruption. Companies were thinking like SAP bringing this new thing, how long it will persist, whether it will be good or not. All these things companies were thinking. That's why they were going with central hub. Now no more goes with central hub. Embedded deployment option is the best one. It's recommended one also by SAP. Okay, clear everyone? That is the deployment scenario we have. Now what next? So this is all about two options which we will have in our server, which I am offering. I am giving an embedded deployment scenario. What about connector? Which scenario used it? Which connector are you talking? Are you talking about HANA Cloud Connector, Deepak? If you're talking about HANA Cloud Connector, please wait for some time. Still, it's a heavy dose of antibiotic for all of you. Okay. If you're talking about HANA Connector, HANA Cloud Connector, please wait for some more time. Okay, so now we saw that these two are the deployment scenarios overall we have in the system. Now let us go ahead and see what are all the server options we have as a UI5 developer to begin with, guys. So you all were asking this. This was another most asked question in my training in the past also. When we want to build a real-time Fury app, exposing our ECC data to the Fury app like Mara data I want to show. Anubhav, what do our options for server we have? At this point of time, I would request you, you guys can opt for server if you wish to. So what are all the server options we have? There are three options and each comes with a different cost and different services. Server options. Now we would really need an SAP server, guys, in our training from next class. So this is why I'm exposing these options to you. First option, use your company server, save money. Save money, boss. Okay. Option number one. This is the best option, I would say. You guys do. In your company, just go and check if you have GWFND installed, gateway is activated. You can use your SAP server of your own company. I will show you how to connect to your SAP server of your own company within your closed environment. Use that, save money. Option number one is straightforward. Option number two, you can use a free server. Free server. Yes, you don't believe this something is free? Yes, it is. A free server provided by SAP called ES5, which can be used, but only for read-only purpose. You can only read the data from this server. You cannot create the data, update the data, delete the data. You cannot create OData services in this. It is only providing a ready-made OData service for reading purpose. Okay, this is the server you can use. SAP is providing free server ES5 to experience things, and this cannot be used for any development. You cannot do any development inside the server. You can't even create your own service. You just have to use free service provided by SAP called Gateway Sample. This is the OData service we'll use to be able to work with scenario, but nothing else. That's option number two. And there is nothing like free lunch, of course. We all know that. So that's where the option number 3 comes in. You can opt for server access. I would recommend two options. Option number 1, by search on Google, find one. On internet, people are offering a server with rupees 800 to rupees 3000, up to 3000 INR per month per user. या 800 रुपये में भी अवेलेबल है, 500 रुपये में भी अवेलेबल, एक्चुअली 500 में भी अवेलेबल है, 500 INR, as cheaper as 500 INR to up to 3000 INR. You can do Google find yourself. Okay, now usually they give you an RDP, remote desktop access. So more sugar you mix, more sweet it becomes. You all know that. Okay, so 500 वाला सर्वर होएगा, आधे दिन चलेगा, आधे दिन नहीं चलेगा. It's a fusky bum. During Diwali days, we used to buy crackers. You remember your childhood days when you used to go market and buy crackers? All of us are very naughty. Many of us are very naughty, naughty kids. And I used to buy a lot. And then during Diwali days, I remember these small bombs, this comes as a mash of bombs. And I open that mash and take out each bomb outside. It's a red color, small size pataka, right? Chota pataka. And then when somebody going on the road, I suddenly go and put that behind that person. That person will shock. I was very naughty kid. So I take out all the bombs out of it. An entire afternoon, me and my friends, we used to sit outside my house, simply just chit chatting. Somebody is going, suddenly we are taking out one bomb and just putting behind it. Sometimes we used to throw these bombs on people. Yeah, this is how we used to do. So these are some of these servers are fusky bomb. Okay, these servers these server are fusky bombs, sir. So you buy in 500 or 800 rupees from Hyderabad. There are a lot of you just do Google, you see so many of them. Yeah, just I'll show you. Just do a Google SAP Fury server access. Okay, server search for that SAP Fury server access from Hyderabad. So many of them are fusky bomb. Be careful. Okay. So now you see Hyderabad server access. You will buy as cheap as, like, 500 rupees also. You can negotiate with them very well. Try करो negotiate करके 500 रुपए में भी ये लोग दे देते हैं. In fact I got it. See, 999. So many server vendors are there. You can just try accessing from them. That's completely your responsibility. So this server you can build it, but don't come to me for anything related to this server. I'll not be able to help you out, because the reason is simple. I don't know, I don't have a clue what kind of connectivity, what kind of server are they giving, which layer, which NetWeaver release they are onto. Some functionality may work, may not work. What you guys have to check, just check if you are on SAP NetWeaver 7.52. Okay, and if you are having SAP GWFND, of course, check the deployment type. It's a central hub or embedded. It's your choice. Both will work for us. Now, additionally, if you want to practice more advanced stuff, just check if it is on HANA database. And if it is an S4 HANA system, even more good. And just check if it is an internet facing system. I will come to this part of internet facing little later. And just also check if they are giving local access. Local access means you can connect to the server from local SAP GUI, like I have done here. Okay, so you see, I am not using any remote desktop connection. I have connected to this system from my local computer, and you see Fury Launchpad is also running in my local computer. I don't have to open any remote desktop connection, because remote desktop connections are usually very slow. So I prefer working as if like I am inside my company. ऐसा अपनी कंपनी में भी ऐसे ही कनेक्ट करते हो ना, सिंपली सेपगुई खोला, डबल क्लिक किया, खुल गया. This is how this server is currently working, because it's an internet facing server. Okay, that is why it is opening like this. Just check different flavors available in market. That's option number 1 for you. Okay, and if you do not even want to practice anything, no options, भूल जाओ, इस slide को ही भूल जाओ. If you don't want to practice OData, Forget this slide. No server is required, nothing is required. Just relax and enjoy your life. Second option, which you can come to me, we are also having a certified SAP vendor who is not selling pirated. So many of these Hyderabad server vendors are selling pirated ones. They are pirated servers. They are running on back date. License is running on back date. Okay. ये अब सब trick करते हैं दुनिया वाली. Okay, they are all running basis server, ECC server and back date. No licensing they are paying. They're like pirated softwares. So another option which I have found out recently, like about a year ago, which has also helped me a lot myself to learn a lot of things, is an S4 HANA 1709 server, which I am offering through a vendor. They were charging 3,000 bucks per month. But now I'm these days buying about 30 to 40 users a month. Thanks to all of you guys and your contribution. Because of that I was able to negotiate और हम लोगों ने इसको negotiate करके 2.5k पे ले आए हम लोग. So now this guy is charging us 2.5k INR per month for 40 users we are buying from him. Fixed. अब ये चाहे कोई ले या ना ले, we are paying for 40 users to this guy and he's giving us in 500 rupees discount per user. So the server cost for S4 HANA 1709, which we will be using in this training, and it is used in all my trainings, be it ABAP on HANA, Launchpad, Fury, Security, every single training I'm using this server. It is usable. You can work HANA also, HANA related stuff also, ABAP on HANA, CDS views, S4 HANA embedded analytics, Launchpad, Fury, Gateway, OData, Fury deployment, Fury installation, Fury security, everything you can practice in this server, full power pack. It's the good news is not pirated. It's an licensed server and they pay authentically to SAP for licenses of the server. So that's the good news about this server. So we are buying 40 users. So the cost of this one is 2.5k INR. You can contact my secretary on install.abap.gmail.com. She will provide you the necessary details. The charges are 2.5k INR per month per user. Okay, per month it is for per user. These are all the options I am telling you guys you can choose from. There is one more option which is practically little expensive one. You wish to go or not wish to go, it's your choice. Set up your own server. Now in this there are two options. One, you set up in local system for which you have a hardware requirement in your own system. Another is you can use Amazon Web Service, AWS cloud, to set up this. Okay. So इसके लिए I have a YouTube video. You can watch that YouTube video. Let me give the link. So you can set up your own server, but that's very costly. Be careful because Amazon will charge you for that server per hour basis. एक घंटे का charge करेंगे वो लोग आपको. Per hour they are charging about like $1 or so. Yeah. So 70 rupees an hour. If you're using about, let's say, maybe about 40 hours minimum a month or 30 hours, एक घंटा भी रोज use करोगे तो 30 hour हो गया. So it will come around like, how much it become? 2100 it has become. That to 1 hour a day. Usually हम लोग कई बार 3 4 4 घंटा weekend पे use करते हैं. So my last bill when I left that server was 7,000 rupees a month. Yeah, 7,000 rupees a month I ended up paying to Amazon for my server bill. Then I discontinued it because very expensive, and I found this vendor who is offering authenticated servers. Just watch this video, ABAP on HANA server setup. Just watch this video. Here I've explained how to set up your own server in Amazon Web Cloud. Clear everybody? So these are all the options, you all have it. Okay, in order to practice. If you want to practice OData service and other stuff which we're going to start from next class. So now you can decide what option you want. From the next session we would need server. Server लगेगा अगले class से. ठीक है. I am myself spending on my learning. Every month I am also buying a user from this vendor and I am charging myself 2.5k INR. So this is what is for my learning and I think it's fair enough because I will convert this 2.5k INR to 25k INR. Yeah, this is what I will do. ये 2,500 मैं spend करूंगा अपनी learning पे, उसको मैं 25,000 बना दूंगा. Right? So this is what the mindset, if you are into, then definitely makes sense. Otherwise you can decide the options to choose from. Now coming to about this free one, यहाँ पे क्या करना है आपको? If you want this access, what do you have to do? Just simply go to Google and search for SAP free ES5 server. Just go there and now create an account for SAP Gateway Demo System. Just go there. And now you see the steps here. How you have to sign up, fill the registration form, sign up email will come with username, password in your email box. You can then add the server, connect with via SAP GUI. Yes, reset your password, go to SAP GUI, and now you see SAP system has opened. Now you can just validate. So this document, this link I'll give you, very easy process. Just register. There's a link given here, gateway registration system. Just open that link, simply fill up the form, click on submit with your email ID. They will give you the server. Okay guys, that's all you got to do. Very easy. You can see it's also showing me my user ID here. This is my user ID. I already created it. I'm just going to reset the password. It's going to send me an email to reset the password. So that's what I'm doing. So that's my user ID. So to start with tomorrow's class, I'll use this one, free server, so you guys get comfortable. And then maybe the next class we will start using the productive one, for which I was showing today. This one we will be using for our development, because in ES5 you can't develop, you can just watch. It's a view system, it's a demo system for view purpose. View mode में है वो, edit mode में नहीं जाएगा. Okay, so that is what it is. So just create your user, nothing harm, it's free. So you can create your user today. Let me give the link to all of you to sign up page and other stuff for this one. So I would request you either to choose any of the option, make a decision and just finalize. You can start maybe tomorrow's class, at least this one should be enough, the free one, and maybe day after tomorrow you would like to opt for it. But just keep it ready guys. If you want to practice, if you don't want to practice, it's your choice. I would say the best option according to me is option number one. You are all working in companies, MNCs, and there is a purpose, you're already learning. Try to use your own company server, save money, don't look anywhere around, save your money and try to use it your own server in your company. If you're afraid, Anubhav, what if I do something wrong in my company server, they will sue me, my job will be at risk, then you can choose below options, whichever you think will fit to your need. With that, it's a wrap on today's class. Time for your quick questions. Okay, I'll tell you, you are saying very naughty. I'll tell you another thing what I used to do. I used to go to marriages and family functions. And whenever there are two ladies talking to each other, okay, or there is a man talking to a lady, what I used to do, किसी को नहीं बताना ये बात, मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. I used to go नीचे से, चेयर के नीचे से, and then I used to carry a stapler और जाके मैन का कुर्ता और लेडी की साड़ी करके स्टेपल कर देता था. I used to staple. And when they are going away from each other, you all know what happens. Okay, so this is what I also used to do. शादी में जाके किसी को स्टेपल कर दिया, and now no nobody knows what happened. So this is the kind of things which I have done in my life, and I've got nice blastings from my mom all the time. Very good. I was very naughty child that days. Okay, coming back, time for your questions. I have a company server. It's a hub architecture, but there is seems to be some issue I was facing. I'm so sorry. I cannot get into your system and solve your issues. You need to contact your basis system for that. Please do not bring your own company
Yes,
server.
No, Anubhav, that is not like for company work or anything. I was just checking, like sandbox system is also there. So what all I need to make sure, like you said na here, that you need to check NetWeaver 7.5 to GWF and everything, right? So
Right.
first all parts. So it's not interfacing. Definitely we connect through RDS only.
Okay.
Okay, and the thing is like what all just I needed like a small brief you can I will check those configuration and make sure that
Fine.
because
Fine.
already we have existing Fury apps and all and I have the access
Then
to
everything
develop OData.
seems to be working, but just go to system
Yes.
status. As I told you, I'm
So while
100% sure it must be there.
registering I am facing the issue actually from like you need to check an RFC, right? So registration point I am facing the issue while registering the OData service.
Okay,
So
that
that's why I
anyway
wanted to make
we
sure
will learn
everything
it.
system level.
Don't worry, we will learn
Sure.
it. Okay. So that is
Sure.
something we'll learn it. That time you will see the issues. Just
Yep.
also quickly just go to SPRO and just check this one if the
Mm.
gateway hub is enabled. Okay. Just go to SPRO, IMG settings,
Okay.
SAP
Okay.
NetWeaver, SAP Gateway Service Enablement.
So it's in the back end I need to check.
In the front end, you have to check if the gateway is
Front
enabled.
end.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just see where is it.
I think it has to be enabled because we
Yes,
have
here it is.
existing Fury
Here it
apps.
is. In SPRO, go to SAP NetWeaver, SAP Gateway, OData Channel Configuration, Activate, Deactivate SAP Gateway. ये होना चाहिए. ये यहाँ पे
Okay.
documentation भी है थोड़ा सा. You can just go and check here. Click this one, and you see currently it is active. Okay, this is what you have to check. If I'm
Yep.
sure, 100% sure it is active.
Yep.
101%
So
sure because you already have
yes,
Fury app.
it
Then
is
I'm
active.
99%
Yes.
sure everything is.
I checked this one. I checked this one after Googling and all. And only thing was like while registration in the front end, when I was doing the last step of OData service registration, that my backend system was not showing up for me. That is the only issue I was facing.
Mhm.
So I will come to that once you cover this topic. After
Right.
that, I will check again and I
अभी
will
अभी
let you know.
अभी picture बाकी
Okay.
है दोस्त.
Yeah.
There's a lot to come.
Yeah. Sure.
We'll
No, yeah, actually, I am an developer, so I started everything with
right.
OData in my previous organization itself.
Correct.
So that's why I was.
I am also a
Yeah.
Bapper, sir. I was also a
Yeah.
Bapper. Anytime I
So
told all of you
front,
about Fury, I was an
yes,
Bapper. Okay.
yeah.
And a BAP is a
Front end
great
part
tool.
came for me later.
Hmm.
Yeah, back end comes to me first. Yeah.
Right. Backend comes to me always. A BAP always, man. I'm
Yeah.
always with a BAP.
Yes.
Even today,
Yes.
tell me go with the BAP or Fury, I would say BAP because that's my main expert area. But still, I love Fury. It's not like I disregard Fury. Fury has given me a lot. Believe me, guys, I am a real example at front of you. In last 4 years, Fury has changed my life. Fury has changed my life. In last 4 year, it has transformed my life. Just by simple example, I was shifted from a rented house of 1 BHK to my own 3 BHK villa. You can see this is the change which Fury has done to my life. I can give you this. ठोक के बोल सकता हूं मैं ये चीज. In terms of monetary benefits, you can see this is what Fury have done to me. From a rented house of 1 BHK, I am shifted to my own house of 3 BHK, which is inside a villa. You can see this is the game changer for me. If for me it can do a lot, of course it can do the same thing for you. फ्रीलांसिंग प्रोजेक्ट करना है, एक्स्ट्रा पैसा कमाना, एक्सपर्टीज डेवलप करो, मेरे साथ आओ. इतना पैसा कमाओगे, याद नहीं रखोगे. You will feel your job is less. You will start feeling your job. You will start feeling the money which you're getting from your company is just pennies, and you will also feel you are wasting your time till today. If you want to do freelancing, come and join with you. But I want commitment. I want hard work. I want the expertise. इतना बढ़िया expertise develop कर लो. कोई भी आ जाए, उड़ा दूंगा, खत्म कर दूंगी, डेवलप करके छोड़ दूंगी, प्रोजेक्ट बना दूंगी, कुछ भी कर दूंगी. काम दो अनुभव. I want work. You tell me I'll do hard work 24/7 with you, Anubhav. I will be ready to work with you. Give me the work. Give me any challenge. I will solve it up. I will learn and I will solve it. If I don't know the answer, I will find out and kill it up and I'll get you the solution. Then you will make good money better than your job. Believe me, you will start making good money. अपने लिए जियो, कंपनी के लिए मत जियो, because company will leave you one day. You have to live for yourself. The day the time comes, company will not be with you. जिस दिन कंपनी का प्रोजेक्ट खत्म हो जाएगा, लात मार के निकाल देगी. खुद का कुछ साइड में डेवलप करो. If you want to do your own startup, go for it. This is the time. This is the time. Go for it. एंड आजकल पैसा नहीं लगाना पड़ता स्टार्टअप करने के लिए, आइडिया चाहिए बस. यू नीड टू गॉट हैव गुड आइडिया. पीपल आर रनिंग बिहाइंड इन्वेस्टर इन्वेस्टर इन्वेस्टर. इन्वेस्टर नहीं चाहिए. जस्ट हैव टू हैव अ गुड आइडिया. सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलप करना आपको आता है, इन्वेस्टमेंट क्यों चाहिए? खुद को इन्वेस्टर बनाओ अपना. इन्वेस्ट इन योर सेल्फ. इन्वेस्ट इन योर ओन लर्निंग. दैट इज द बिगेस्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट यूर डूइंग. इट विल नेवर फॉल. It will never fall. Okay, next question here. There is a question about the custom control. Okay, So someone is saying, did we used an h1 tag with end of h1? Can we use anything? Yes, you can use any html tag what we learned in the past, be it a input, be it a image, be it a div tag, be it a span tag. It's your choice. You can tell the system what is the equivalent html I want to produce. That's what you can do. You can use any tag. Yes, it is mandatory to use a tag, because that's what you are telling to the renderer at least which control you want to produce, which is the equivalent html. Browser only understand html, so you have to produce an html tag at the end of the day. That's the purpose of custom control. Okay, you can use any tag. Yes, you can use any tag. Great. So journey just begins. We just started introduction of OData. We saw the benefits, we saw the system architecture, and we saw the server options to choose from. In tomorrow's class, I would start first this free server option to showcase what features it is offering, because this is what could be a good start for all of us. And then I will move on to my own server, which I have also opted for. In this server, we will be building. So if you guys want server access from me, I would request you, please shoot up an email to Minakshi today itself. So at least the process will begin and you guys will get your server ready by at least day after tomorrow morning, so that you can practice things which I will showcase from day after tomorrow onwards. So ये admin task खत्म कर लो, activate करा लो अपना user ID और अपने पास में संभाल के रखो, कनेक्ट करके चेक कर लो सब कुछ, and then we will be ready to get started with day after tomorrow's class will be on my server. If not, at least make your company server ready. Just go and check today in your company if you have the components installed. And then, of course, you're going to use your company server for the practice purpose. Don't worry, I will show you how to connect from WebID to any server. The process is same. It's just the URL which will differ. The process to connect from WebID to your server is same. Be it your company server, be it my server, be it your server, be it an AWS server, or be it a free ES5 server. The process is absolutely same. So that way you don't have to worry that you have to buy. I'm not forcing anybody to buy my server at all. Please do not take it wrong. You don't have to buy my server at all. But just understand, I will not be able to solve your server issues. You got to contact your company basis guy for solving your issues. Any issues related to this server, I will be able to happy to help. But any issue related to some other servers which I don't have an access, I don't get into that game at all, because then there are infinite combinations which I don't want to talk about. With that, it's a wrap on today's class. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Goodbye.